welcome back to Quinte Connection. Thanks for joining us on the show. Well, the City of Belleville has proclaimed February as Preventative Health Awareness Month. Perhaps you saw the flag raising ceremony outside the Belleville Police Station here in Belleville. There was an event surrounding that, and also with the founder of Enable No More, who joins us now, talking more about kind of being proactive, being mindful about mental health awareness and addictions and breaking the cycle. So joining us, Jennifer McCutcheon, the founder of Enable No More, a part of this event that was happening at Loyalist. So Jennifer, pleasure to meet you. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Lindsey, for having me on today and for your continued spreading of messages to bring awareness to Belleville residents and beyond, to the power that we have when we come together to create the change that's needed for healing and recovery around mental health and addiction.
Yeah, YourTV taped the presentation at Loyalist College in Belleville recently. So Jennifer, for folks who are just catching up, walk us through kind of PHAM and the movement and kind of the importance of this kind of really catching momentum in Quinte.
Yeah, so Preventative Health Awareness Month and Movement is founded by Margaret Wallace Duffy. She was hoping to be here today, but I'm going to just share as much as I can about the movement. I'm a PHAM ambassador, so I have been part of this movement. This is the 4th year. So we started this movement. Margaret started this movement through her vision of an experience recognizing and seeing the gaps in our healthcare system. A healthcare system that we know is under a lot of pressure. It's overburdened, and there's a lot of people that are really slipping through the cracks in their healthcare. So we're moving from a reactive approach in healthcare to a preventative and proactive approach. And how do we do that? Margaret had this vision of bringing healthcare providers from across Canada to come together to link arms, who are on the same movement and mission to improve our healthcare system, to relieve the burden of the healthcare system and the service providers that are experiencing that, and to help Canadians become empowered and become the CEOs of their own health through education, awareness, and resources. So this is a grassroots initiative. It is non-funded. It is 100% volunteered at this point, and we have been raising money through different events to support us on this journey. So the micro movement is Real Lives Touched by Addiction, which is only one of many. There are many different micro movements that are powered by PHAM, and that's the movement that I lead as a recovery and trauma healing coach. Both my personal experience as a mother and spouse of not just one, but 2 partners, former husbands that were impacted by mental health and addiction. So it's about real lives, real stories, real truths coming together to join the conversation so that we're no longer part of the problem, that we can be part of the solution. And that's really the bigger umbrella initiative around preventative health awareness movement and month. So it's the month of February, but the movement is all year long. This doesn't end. We continue these conversations after February. So March 1st, we start with our movement of change, and it's really a call to action to all Canadians of all walks, right? Everyday individuals, our policymakers, the dignitaries, our police services, healthcare services, hospitals, and individuals to come together to be part of the solution. If we continue to wait for somebody else to fix it, we're the ones that are going to suffer. So it's about, hey, we might not just have one solution, but we can come up with many, and we do it better together. It's a better together motto.
Yeah, Margaret has a show on YourTV, Halton, with her message. You've got a podcast as well. But with your organization, Enable No More, Jennifer, is it local here in Quinte? Are you out a little bit further?
Well, I am actually here in Quinte, but my Enable No More coaching programs, which are specializing in family members, mothers, parents that are impacted by a loved one's mental health and addiction, I actually serve individuals across the globe. So I have the ability to do everything through Zoom and in person. So I treat and work with local individuals, but also individuals in Australia, in the UK, across the United States, across Canada. So there's no limitation on who I can support. And it's what I'm passionate as a mother who has a child who is impacted by mental health and addiction. I've lived it firsthand. I understand the darkness that families are walking through, trying to navigate with very little support. That's actually why, I started it on my own healing journey I recognized there just wasn't supports for family members. And that's what I advocate for, is that family members are actually a very necessary part of the healing and recovery process that we've often been left out of. We're the cornerstone of recovery for sustainable long-term recovery, because it's not just our loved ones and addictions challenge, it's actually my challenge as a mother. It's a family issue. It's a societal issue. It's a systems issue, and that's where the whole better together comes in. And families, I believe, are needed. We need to bring them into the integrative process to help not just the individual heal, but the entire family unit to heal and recover and to break generational cycles.
What was the reaction from the Loyalist College event? Because I understand it was very, very well attended.
It was very well attended. We had a sold out event, which was just incredible. The feedback that we are getting emails and messages from individuals that attended that are just blown away. The buzz in the community, it's having impact, and that's exactly what we wanted. You know, a lot of the common feedback that we were getting from individuals that were at the event was, you know, this is it. What they came to each and every one of us at different ways through these messages was, you're telling my story. You just told my story. Like, it was like you're living in my head. Because what we don't recognize is we're more alike than we are different. We're all experiencing the same struggles, the same challenges, the same cycles of addiction, just in slightly different ways. So that's the power that we had, the impact that we had. When we create community, community is unity. And in unity, we open up opportunity to talk in a place where we're not judged, where there isn't shame, and we recognize that we are all one, that we're actually all here and we're better together. See, addiction isolates, it ostracizes, and that's really what we're doing here in bringing people together to collaborate and to break the cycles, because it's not just, you know, the individuals that we see that are unhoused and living on the streets and struggling with mental health and addiction. Addiction is everywhere. We're all impacted from one degree to another, whether it's in our hospitals, those individuals serving the people that are struggling with mental health and addictions. It's in our schools, it's in our governments, it's in our homes, it's everywhere. So the more we can become real, which is real lives touched by addiction, we can actually start to create massive change in our community, in our homes, across our country.
Folks who want to connect more with you and the community you have and build on these stories, what's your podcast again, Jennifer?
So the podcast is Real Lives Touched by Addiction. We are currently on YouTube and will be very shortly up on Spotify and Apple. So we invite everybody to come join the conversation. And, you know, you can reach us out to us at reallivestba@gmail.com. If you have questions, if there's a specific topic that you'd like us to cover, we're here to serve and to share from a real, authentic, real life touched by addiction.
Well, Jennifer McCutcheon, once again, thanks for bringing the proactive back in healthcare, especially with this. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.